It is my personal belief that all the Mossad talk is a distraction from the fact that Jeffrey Epstein worked for the KGB, and that if he would belong to intelligence, it was because everybody was trying to turn him into an asset all over the place because of his access, and nobody quite knew what he had, when he had it, and he was probably playing both sides against the middle to protect himself. It's why he managed to create a shield around himself, both the wealthy and powerful, but also the intelligence services. And there was people in the Likud who were very close to the KGB because they had to extract Jews from Russia that were trying to escape during the USSR and get them to Israel and help them get out. So they had to build these bridges. And then after that, there was some sort of please and thank yous that happened afterwards. So I happen to think that it's much more logical that he was with the KGB or was, had handlers there than Mossad specifically, because he could have gone to Israel and stayed there as a Jew and never had to leave, not show up for his charges in the States. But he might have been under orders from the KGB to keep going. The other thing, too, is that when he was shuffling money around, he didn't do it through Israeli banks. He did it through Russian banks. That's the tell-all. Now, but Tucker Carlson straight up came out and said, it's the Mossad, the Jews run everything, and turned this into, like his anti-Semitic drum to beat. And so it doesn't take long after you start blaming the Jews for Anna Kasparian and the folks over at the Young Turks to come over and go, I'll take a slice of that.
So normally when I do an unconventional interview with like Putin or the president of Iran, people get mad and they ask, why are you talking to him? This is one of those very rare, maybe unique circumstances where people are going to ask you,
yes.
Why are you talking to him?
Yeah.
Because she's on Peanut Butter Dickhead's lady show with Lindy Lee, and why would that surprise anybody?
And people are going to get mad.
People are going to get very angry. I know.
No, that ship has sailed. I think we're all shocked you weren't on here earlier. He hasn't offered you a staff job yet.
And your producers had been reaching out trying to get me to talk to you for at least a year and a half. And it might.
Right. Since she broke right during the campaign, and they're like, hey, she'll be useful. And you're like, and she probably told them, look, I am useful. I'm helping Trump get elected. Don't worry about that. I just have to do it from this side of the field.
Feelings toward coming on your show went from I would never in a million years to kind of giving myself the opportunity to listen to your podcast, to figure out who you really are.
Yes, he's a guy who said that a demon scratched him up when he went to the bathroom in the middle of the night and his wife didn't know or whatever. And it was absolutely not him driving to a truck stop and having man sex in a bathroom and coming back with dirty clothes and scratches on his back. It was not that. It was a demon, and he admits it. And I appreciate him being honest with all of us.
Of course, I had very strong thoughts about who you are.
Really?
Yeah, but I realized that
Yeah, because you laugh like a lunatic and you live alone in a big wooden house and your family hates you. It's a little scary.
Based on.
By the way, was she dropped off in a fucking Sprinter van with a black bag over her head?
That I would watch of you that had gone viral. And they had gone viral because they were offensive, or you had said something that was
viral, like syphilis is viral.
Pretty much. Okay. I mean, you should think of it that way because.
Well, now that you bring up Trump, do you guys think that he's lying about Epstein, or this is fourth stage syphilis?
Mostly painting you in a very negative light.
And by the way, Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck both have like country music as their theme songs. And I find it incredibly aggravating. These like down home shit.
Sure, you and I have some pretty deep disagreements, but I think that some of what you've been talking about lately like hits at the heart of what I care most about.
Yeah. Yes. Which is blame a worldwide network of Jews for everything. Absolutely. And also get Russia off the hook. Because fuck Armenia at this point, I guess. Is that where she's going?
And that's the importance of this country representing the American people. The importance of the United States.
Oh, you mean, getting the big bullshit bill passed and keeping women from having the right to an abortion, especially if they need one to not die. Yeah. Okay.
It's being a sovereign country that has politicians and
Mexicans. I'm sorry. I should have, that was my fault. I should have thought of that earlier. That's my bad. It's the Mexicans coming here. That's right. Because they're all over LA and they creep her out. And she sees taco trucks and she gets nervous, and that's okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's silly me.
Government that prioritizes the American people as opposed to a foreign government.
Israel.
And
which, by the way, again, they collapsed USAID. You don't give a fuck what's happening to people in Darfur right now, right? Literally, this is one of those situations where, like, as long as we cut off Israel, everybody else can get fucked. I don't care if it means refugees are starving all over the world. Like, that's what it means. Like, talk about a one-issue voter.
Speaking out.
And she means, by the way, I think she means Ukraine too, but largely, I guess, because their president is a Jew.
The way you've been speaking out about some of these.
Also, by the way, I'm not a Jew, for the record. Anna hates me because of her own, I don't know, gaps in morality and ethics.
Takes a lot of courage because it goes against the grain and it goes.
Why? What courage? He's a multimillionaire. He's an heir to the Swanson Frozen Dinner Corporation. He's worth like 90. Wait, hold on. Shit. Let's look it up. How much is Tucker Carlson worth? Tucker Carlson net worth. See, peanut butter dickhead. See how easy it is. Okay. So brave. So brave. Somewhere between 400, as of 2025, estimates place Tucker Carlson's net worth between 420 million and 2 billion. Tucker Carlson may be worth as much as $2 billion fucking dollars. At least 420 million. What the fuck are you talking about, brave? Brave? What do you think, he built that house himself? You fucking nutcase? Jesus Christ. 2 millionaires tell us all how to live. Jesus.
Decades of propaganda and conditioning in American media. And so to me,
that he was a part of.
That commonality that you and I share made me a lot more open-minded to coming on this show, because I do think that
the fact that Netanyahu is a fucking prick is enough to make it worth it to starve the people of Darfur and make children all over the world who could have their lives saved by fucking peanut paste with protein in it that we pass out. Cutting that off is worth it. If we just get to this, that's enough for her.
Americans from across the political spectrum need.
Also, I would like to point out that there is no fucking reason why you would have to destroy USAID to not support the shit Netanyahu is doing. I don't know why those have to be grouped together. Apparently Tucker does. Apparently Trump does. And what Anna wants you to do is trust in Tucker.
Find areas of agreement, especially as it pertains to making this country better, so we can apply appropriate pressure on our politicians and get
appropriate pressure
them to represent us.
Yeah. Yes, Queen. Ugh. Yeah. Let's get them. We got to put appropriate pressure. And the way you put appropriate pressure on Democrats is go on Tucker Carlson's fucking podcast and talk about ball tanning.
Regardless of the corruption, regardless of the influence of foreign governments, at the end of the day, these politicians are nothing if it isn't, if it weren't for the American people, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like right now, what's really interesting is in Congress, it appears that there's this bipartisan effort to force a vote to release the Epstein files.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's bipartisan because why? Oh, because all Democrats and 18 Republicans. That's how bipartisan is. That's your definition of bipartisan. 18 hardliners joining all of them, all Democrats, 18 Republicans, big bipartisan. Yeah.
The only reason why that's happening is because there's a very loud and aggressive portion of the MAGA base that's demanding it, and they're not letting it go.
Hey, asshat. That's why those 18 are coming over. That's not why the Democrats are there.
I commend them because I agree with them. I think we need transparency. We need to know whether or not we literally have members in our government or influential people, in the periphery of our government who are pedophiles. I want to know.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you? You think that's fair? I mean, it's not going to happen, obviously, is what he means. But
the framework that you laid out, the government of any country ought to be sovereign, which is to say it should make most of its big decisions on the basis of what's good for the people that it represents. And it's bad.
And that includes if Russia decides the decisions that the Russian government, the Kremlin, if they make decisions that the best thing for their people is if they invade another country, then the rest of us need to just fuck off. Thanks, Tucker.
When foreign countries control your country.
Mm-hmm.
Those don't strike me as hateful statements at all. Those aren't expressions of animus against anybody, are they?
Yeah. If there's a war of aggression and you can help the party that is being attacked, and they share your values and you have a reason to help them, then yes, they deserve your support in whatever way that you can give it. And if you don't give it, you're siding with the aggressor.
I don't think they're hateful statements at all. I'm an American. I love this country. I love the people in this country.
Well, not all of them.
And I don't want to live in this ridiculous perversion of the American government where they pretend to represent us.
You're talking to a dude who tans his balls separate from the rest of us, and not just nude tanning, specifically UVs his nutsack for some reason, while, by the way, dipping nicotine.
But in reality, Americans are on the back burner. Our tax dollars are being taken from us, not to help Americans who need help.
No, we have $1 trillion military budget for our first time ever. And thank you for pointing it out that the big B bullshit bill is going to tear a giant hole in the debt. I'm sure Tucker agrees with you. That's nuts.
But to give all sorts of subsidies to private industries that are already doing really well. Okay, they don't need extra subsidies or tax cuts or things like that. But in addition to...
Like what? What companies? Say it. Say farmers, then say, I don't know, what would be next after farmers? Real estate, brokers, or builders rather, developers, because we need 3 million more homes, whatever. Solar panels. Obviously, she's against us at giving subsidies to companies. Obviously, solar is doing very well. I mean, because of the support the government is giving it. But, it's not, if it can't stand on its feet now, I guess, fuck it.
All the foreign aid that we're pumping into the Middle East, Israel, right? Oftentimes when we talk about foreign aid,
it's a very small part of the Middle East. You're going to bring up the rest of the Middle East. How about Africa? Because that got cut off by Trump and you didn't say peep.
Goes to Israel at this point. I believe it's about, $4 billion a year on top of all of the military aid that we've been pumping into Israel over the last 2 years.
No, they either buy that or that's part of that number that you're talking about. Also, $4 billion is about 30 seconds of borrowing over the course of a year. And USAID, again, was obliterated for less.
I mean, it's unacceptable to me that we're doing that. And in the backdrop of that, you have the United States Congress cutting $1.1 trillion to Medicaid. Really? That's the problem? That's where we need to cut funding from? By the way, also cutting funding to food assistance?
Well, hey, just go to sleep at night telling yourself that Harris would have done that anyways, and it's a uniparty thing, and nobody really makes a difference anyways. So you can, I don't know, find your way to slumber in your delusion that you did all you could.
How do you justify sending tens of billions of dollars to Israel in the last 2 years alone, while targeting cuts to Medicaid and food stamps?
Because this isn't about governance, it's about culling. And you're sitting across from a guy who doesn't believe we should have any of those things?
It makes me beyond angry. I think it's so unbelievably unjust.
Yeah, but, Wasn't it worth it to spend a year going fuck Biden, fuck Harris, right? Because it was really a coin flip, wasn't it?
And if you speak out about it the way I'm doing right now, I'm sorry, I'm getting like kind of aggressive. If you speak out about it like I am right now, people try to smear you as an anti-Semite. And you know what? I'm not.
Hang out. Wait. No, nobody gets smeared as being an anti-Semite for bringing up why is the government cutting $1.1 trillion over the course of a decade in Medicaid funding. Trump isn't Jewish. The weird part is that you think $4 billion that goes to Israel has any impact whatsoever on any of this shit, so much so that you avoid talking about the fucking tiny-dicked orange elephant standing on the goddamn table in front of you. Donald Trump made these cuts, and the Republicans helped him. That's the weird part. The reason people think you're an anti-Semite is because you're this $4 billion thing that you're using to like our money going to these countries. Even the money that we've spent in Ukraine, $340 billion. Again, most of it spent right here in the United States, by the way, about $60 billion of it over the course of the active war over the last 3 years has gone to them, and they have to pay it back at some point. But even focusing on that, that's not why we're cutting $1.1 trillion over the course of a decade from Medicaid. We're doing it because Republicans don't believe Medicaid should exist. You're an anti-Semite because you think that anything happening in Israel weighs on the expense cuts so much so that you can hide behind that. You can blame Netanyahu and all the shit that Israel is pulling right now. You can take this is horrible what they're doing with our $4 billion. And you won't even mention fucking Trump's name in these cuts or Mike Johnson's name or support Democrats for fighting back against it. That's why you're an anti-Semite, is because you're using the Jews as fucking cover, even the ones that are against this in Israel or even aren't in Israel or aren't against it on their own. That's why. It doesn't even fucking chart.
Anti-Semite. I know what's in my heart. And I'm not going to let those smears stop me from saying what I.
Also, and for the record, I don't think she thought I was Jewish when she decided that I was a bad person. She decided that because I was supporting the woman in the campaign against Trump in 2016. That's what, because I was supporting the woman, Hillary Clinton. Yeah, because I was going to vote for her, and I said so. I didn't call anybody names. I didn't disagree with anybody else's choice. I said, that's fine. I'm just this. And that's when she decided, fuck me, I guess. I'm not even guessing. That's genuinely it.
Is correct and what's morally just.
Is it possible that
you think you're actually going to get out of this building? Sorry.
People are slandered in order to prevent conversations like this from happening?
Yes.
What the fuck? What conversation? You spill, he spills. You spill, he spills. Like, he'll frame whatever you're saying to make it seem like you're on his side about things, even where you're not. It's not a conversation. You haven't even had the fucking conversation yet. Jesus Christ.
In the first place. So you said, I was hesitant to come on the show. The reason we wanted to book you and a bunch of people who work for me had the same feeling, is
the talk about LA homelessness. And after she was attacked, she turned like kind of tough on crime. And she was allegedly red pilled. And you're like, get her on here immediately because she's female and she's telegenic. And the rest of the dudes we have on here look like slugs. And, our regular viewers on the Tucker Carlson network, like partisan porn.
Is what you just said. Like, we can disagree on all kinds of things, but if the fundamental orientation is the U.S. government ought to make a good faith effort to improve the lives of Americans, that's not a partisan statement. That's not a crazy out there sentiment at all. And
right. Now ask him, does he believe that Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security have to be cut? Because this is not a conversation until you do.
Saw that. I was like, oh, yeah. And then you're like, yeah, but he's a Nazi. I can't
yeah,
do the Nazi show.
It's so, I mean,
And
yes.
so you sort of want, like, I have all kinds of stupid opinions. I've said all kinds of stupid things. I've had ugly opinions in the past. I'm not defending every opinion I have had or even currently have. I'm merely saying.
Why wouldn't you defend your current opinions? For real. I mean, you can recognize you talked shit before because now, by the way, there's no money in talking like he used to talk. So he can attack those things.
Reduce someone to a caricature.
How could somebody reduce somebody to a character who goes, and when they do a documentary about Russia, go to one train station, 2 stores, and hang out at the Kremlin and a bugged hotel the entire time and never go into the rural areas? I don't know.
Kind of tactic to prevent anyone from having a real conversation with the person.
It's meant to discredit.
You're not having one. This is a conversation about a conversation. Motherfucker. All right, I'm done. I don't have time to do the whole thing anyways because it's 90 minutes. It's not interesting, but it's fascinating to me that the whole beginning of this, the preamble, is them having a conversation about having a conversation. Jesus. You don't get to give yourself credit for we shouldn't even be able to have conversations like this until you're actually fucking having one. You're not having a conversation. You're talking about talking. Good Lord. Like, both of these assholes are just patting themselves on the back for even being in the same room with each other. Like, you get fucking points. Argue, debate. Maybe they get into some of this shit later, but you don't get to pat yourself on the back until after that happens. Jesus. I do the Tuckum laugh perfectly. Thank you very much. I'm very, yeah. Oh. That's basically my Tucker. It's like, that's it, basically. That's all of it. Fucking Jesus. Like, Anna Kasparian, the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, are singularly shitty in the world of media. It's bad. And it's a fucking shame. Because, again, this goes to the wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't blame anybody for falling for a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I certainly don't expect you to hate sheep after it happens. But that's what the Young Turks is. The Young Turks is specifically meant to be a governor on Democrats voting. How do you diminish Democratic votes, during election cycles and leading up to stuff? How do you do it? How do you disenfranchise a huge chunk of Democratic voters by winding them up into a moral spiral that none of them fucking agree with, by the way, that they both of them rich, fucking live in Glendale, whatever. Like, it's just stupid. And all it's supposed to do is, how do we shave 3 to 5 points off of Democrats that are going to vote in this election to keep it tight so we have power? That's what it's about. If any of this shit gets settled, or Democrats find a way back to 60 votes again in the Senate and a 60-40 majority in the House, for example, and take the presidency, TYT's fucking over. It's done. I got shit I could do. I'm talented. I'm a young man. I've got prospects. They're fucked. They need this shit to drag on. They need it to be hair thin. They need that just so that they can, you only have pressure via a group like the size of the Squad if there's a narrow margin. So they have to manufacture that fucking margin every time. And that's all they're about every fucking time. So maybe eventually people will catch on, but it's just fucking gross. All right. Yeah, I know, Group Dragon. I got to go. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. God damn it. I've got a show tonight. I'll see all the Patreon and the YouTube members at the show tonight, flappers, and I'm out. Where's my? I've got a screen here somewhere. Hold on. Let me move this over here. Where's my little, where are they? I've got my little channels. Here they are. Aha. It's this one. Where are we? This guy right here. Ow! Thank you guys for all the super chats and all the support. Really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the radio. I got to drive back tonight after the show.